Yo, what's up, y'all? Now, this is like the third time I've tried to shoot this video, and I keep sweating bullets because it's so hot in here. So if I start looking like Samuel Jackson in A Time to Kill, just please forgive me. What do you guys think about the hair? Anyway, the hair is growing in real fast. I'm totally digging it. Anyway, today we are talking about the thyroid. You know, everybody's out there saying, oh, my thyroid's low, my metabolism's slow, yada, yada, yada. And we're talking about it because I have been reading the dopest book of all time, Why Do I Still Have Thyroid Symptoms When My Lab Tests Are Normal, by Dr. Tatis Karatsian, who's on my radio show tonight. If you miss it, go to iTunes, search Underground Wellness, and you will find it. Dope book right here, available in the UW store. Now, everybody knows the thyroid is your master controller of your metabolism, okay? So if you got a slow thyroid, you're probably gonna have a slow metabolism. And of course, you wanna have proper thyroid function in order to be a healthy individual, in order to be able to maintain a good weight, and even to lose weight. So let me show you how this works. And we've kind of gone over this in the past before. When you're cold, for example, or if you're fighting something off, or if your T4, which we're gonna talk about in a second, is low, then your brain senses that and it says, hey, we got to crank up this thyroid. We need to turn up the metabolism. We need to increase body heat. And when the brain senses that, it's particularly something called the hypothalamus. And that hypothalamus is going to make something called thyroid releasing hormone, TRH. And that TRH is going to go to the pituitary, it's kind of like a messenger, and it's going to tell the pituitary gland, which is also in the skull, to make some thyroid stimulating hormone. And so it's kind of like it sounds. We're going to stimulate the thyroid. And so, of course, that's going to go to the thyroid gland, which sits right here. And then that thyroid gland is going to make two things. It's going to make T3, boom, right there. 7% of that is T3. And T3 is your active thyroid hormone. It's actually what you can use, what's bioavailable. So again, T3, 7%. But the other stuff it makes is T4. Now, T4 is inactive. Remember, there's 7% over here, there's 93% over here, and this is inactive. So how are we going to get this inactive T4 to become active T3? Now, of course, we're going to need a conversion. We're going to have to convert that to a T3. Now, how does that conversion take place? Now, 60% of that is going to happen in the liver, if you have a properly functioning liver. The livers that I test with my clients typically aren't functioning too well because we've got, environmental stuff, they got intestinal barrier issues and things are leaking through and clogging up the liver, so it's a big problem. 20% of that T4 is going to become reverse T3, which is absolutely inactive. You cannot use that, okay? So it's not useful to you. 20% is going to be converted in the gut. Now, this is what we're going to focus on today. We talked a little bit about the gut last week when we talked about candida and being drunk all the time. We talked about it on last week's radio show as well. And then anything that's left over is going to go to the brain, the nerves, as well as any peripheral tissues. But again, we're going to focus on that 20%. So, the gut here, when the T4 is converted in the gut, it turns into two things. It turns into T3S and T3AC. But these are kind of like T4 because they're completely inactive. Your body cannot use them. And so what happens is it's going to start to make its rounds in your digestive tract. And so for these to actually become active, they need to be worked on by something called intestinal sulfatase. So you need the intestinal sulfatase for that T4 to be, for that T3 to become active so you can use it, so you can crank up your metabolism, so you can be healthy, so you can lose weight. But what is the source of this intestinal sulfatase? It's healthy gut bacteria. We talked last week about that good bacteria in your gut, how you want to have a whole lot more good bacteria than you've got not so good bacteria. That tends to not to be the case with most people that I work with, especially those who are trying to lose weight. And so they keep saying to me, hey, I've got bloating issues, I've got constipation issues, I got brain fog issues as well. Big indicators that they have bad intestinal flora. So what happens is this inactive T3S and T3AC cannot become active. Now you've lost 20% of your thyroid function, okay? That's not good for you. You've lost 20% of your metabolism. So like when we say, everything is in the gut, just about everything is in the gut. So we have to keep that in mind. And the thing that's really interesting about this is that you're going to get normal thyroid lab results when this is the case. And so what we have to do is heal the gut. Is it as easy as just using probiotics? Absolutely not. You know, that's certainly going to help, but at the same time, we got to find out what's going on in the gut. Why do you have this dysbiosis? Why do you have too much bad bacteria, not enough good bacteria? Do you have a parasite? Do you have hypochlorhydria or low stomach acid? Do you have a misfunctioning liver or gallbladder? Do you have food intolerances and sensitivities? So it's not just that easy. And so that's why you need to contact me, Sean at undergroundwellness.com or consultations@undergroundwellness.com, or you can call us at 619, what's my number? 236-9782, 619-236-9782. I'm coming with another thyroid video tomorrow. We're going to talk about Hashimoto's. It's going to be off the chain. Y'all going to trip out on this one. I'm out of here. Peace. Ooh, I'm sweaty.